I'm Sonya.
I'm Ebong.
And I'm Kate.
And today we're dishing with you from Chef Geoff, located at 3201 New Mexico Avenue, Northwest.
That's right. We've got all kinds of great food, and we've got somebody who's going to be a little funny with us.
A little funny.
I say you're going to be a little bit funny with us.
I'm glad you're sitting over there by Kate.
That's right. Shawn Westfall is the founder of ImprovDelivered.com. He does a lot of improv comedy here in the District of Columbia. I never really knew how big improv was until we heard from all of we have a lot of readers that always ask us, or watch viewers, that always ask us about improv, what's going on at the DC Improv, where they can find improv comedy. How did it become so big, and how is DC on the map for this all of a sudden?
You know, it's interesting. I got here in DC about 10 years ago, and there was a little bit of energy in improv, but all of a sudden a number of improv theaters started cropping up, and the DC Improv, I approached the DC Improv about teaching improv comedy there, and for some reason they bit, and I started that 7 years ago, and it's been going nonstop.
Serious City, maybe, and we're just looking for an outlet to.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Yeah, my classes have primarily been made up of lawyers. I get a lot of lawyers, and
that makes sense, though.
That makes me laugh.
And the reason they give me is because they're working all kinds of on crazy hours in some sort of grind, and they go, I need some sort of outlet. I need someone to have someplace to have fun, and so they come to my classes and they get to laugh for 2 hours a week.
So how do you teach improv? Isn't it supposed to be improvisational?
There are rules. People don't get that there are rules.
There are rules.
Rules?
There are rules in improv.
That's absolutely right. Yeah,
She's so adamant about that.
Because I feel very strongly because it's a team sport. I feel
it is highly collaborative. And let me just sort of distinguish improv from stand-up. We're not a stand-up. Of course, a guy with behind a brick wall facade and a microphone telling jokes, smashing watermelons. Exactly right, and giving the appearance of saying things that are completely off the cuff. But of course, we know that he's doing the same act. He or she is doing the same act in some city. 2 weeks from now. Improv is collaborative. It's in the moment. It's comedy without a net. No one knows what's going to happen. We go with 1 or 2 audience suggestions, and based on that, we sort of create the funny. We find the funniest. Create the funny.
Similar to like whose line is it?
Exactly. In fact, in my classes, I basically teach people how to play those games and how to do those.
I mean, that's amazing. So I remember that show. I mean, Wayne Brady. I think that's what put Wayne Brady on the map.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and improv. I mean, if he'd gone around 10 years ago and polled people, what's improv? They go, that's stand-up comedy telling jokes. We go, no. But thank goodness for Drew Carey and for that show, because it's put improv. It's made it top of mind for people who wouldn't otherwise know what it is.
Well, how does using this or learning how to relax after your long day at the law office, how did this actually help you in your everyday life? Why do most people choose to? Well,
I mean, for obviously the beneficial effects of being relaxing, of course, even like on the job and things like that. What I've discovered when I go into companies and organizations and teach this is how they think they're a team, and they think they're listening to each other, and they think they're paying attention. But once they get up there and sort of really exactly, that's exactly what happens. But once I get up and start showing them these strategies and teaching them the rules, you're absolutely right, Sonya, of improv, they discover, wow, I haven't been paying attention at all to what someone's saying, because if something is happening in the moment, you have to be sort of focused and listening intently to make sure that you're hearing everything and hearing what they say. Also, it's awful difficult to dislike someone who's making you laugh. You really can't do that. And so these sort of, I'm often brought in to help manage change when companies, mergers, or organizations come together, and I teach them these improv games. And it's within different organizations there's sort of siege mentalities. Accounting doesn't like marketing. Who doesn't like this, right? Well, when the guy from accounting is sitting there making you laugh, it's really difficult to continue disliking him and having a sort of passive aggressive on the job behavior with a relationship with him.
But you can still have a professional relationship.
Of course, yes. Still have a professional relationship, but I mean, as we all know, the workday life is rife with these sort of weird relationships that have to be negotiated and maneuvered.
So basically, you're helping improve communication through other means.
Communication, collaboration, creativity as well.
Because initially, what you would have is, I need this, I need that, but you use other ways by using parameters in the rules to communicate effectively.
Exactly. I mean, you stop looking at your coworker as some sort of automaton who's there to function as a bureaucratic necessity in the organization. You start seeing them as a human being, because human beings make each other laugh, and they form.
You're also forcing people to pay attention to things going on around them and see what could be funny in the situation.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, you don't really think about what could be. I mean, this could be really funny.
Oh, this is funny.
This is funny. We are funny.
You guys are funny.
Is there a transition that somebody can make from improv to stand-up? Is it two totally different skill sets?
Yes, and it happens all the time. It's no accident that some of the best stand-ups have also trained in improv. Jerry Seinfeld, for one, is a guy who's trained in improv. Tina Fey. I don't want to be Tina Fey. Well, I've never seen her do stand-up, but I know that she's primarily improv trained. So yeah, I mean, the sensibility is the same. You sort of have to have an understanding of what's funny, how you appear in front of an audience, which improv helps.
Helps when you're funny looking.
But of course, I mean, stand-up is harder because you have to go up every night and do it and try out your jokes and see if they work. And if they don't work, you take them back to the lab and you work on them. Improv, it's like we sort of have a built-in excuse. We're going to make this up, so good luck.
So would you say it's easier for someone to go from improv to stand-up than vice versa, because you have to be very rooted in observation, and being able to observe, and you can be more pliable?
I know it's the opposite is very difficult. It's difficult for someone to go from stand-up to improv, primarily because it is collaborative. You have to do work with other people, and most stand-ups are interested in just being the star and telling the joke by themselves. And exactly.
We keep talking about these rules. Can we get like the number one rule of improv?
The number one rule, there are two very important words in improv. They are yes and. These form the DNA of any single improv scene you're in. Why these two words? Well, because in improv you're taught to accept an ad. Like if I say, we start a scene and I say, Mom, I really can't find my socks right now, automatically I've endowed you as my mother in this scene. Your job is to say, yep, you're in your head to say, yep, I'm your mother, and add some information. And you say something, well, every time we go to Walmart, you take off your shoes and socks and run around. So you provide a little information. And you build the scene moment by moment, line by line, brick by brick. And that's how we actually organically arrive at the funny.
And then when you throw in the audience, it's like throwing paint on the wall too, so you never know what you're going to get.
We have absolutely no idea what in fact, we invite their participation. Throw us you give us a word to get us started or something like that, and from that we build it yes and, one by one, line by line.
You know what? I wish we had more time so we could throw some words at you and make you create the funny here, but you know what? I think we're all creating the funny in our own heads right now. Thank you so much for being here with us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And making us more aware of what's going on so that we can make it funny.
Create the funny. I like that.
Create the funny. That's right. You can help us create the funny. Let us know who you'd like to see on the show. And as always, keep watching. You can follow us on Twitter at The District Dish or on Facebook, The District Dish. And check us out here next time. See you soon.